We are at Jerusalem. You can hear the end of the muezzin who calls the Muslims to pray. And you can see that there are Muslim villages around it. And, but we are, let's say 2,000 years ago, just sitting like King Herod was sitting, and the people of King Herod, the people from the time of King Herod was here too. And even Jesus visited that place because it's mentioned in the Bible as well, the New Testament. Now, I already talked about the Siloam pool, that was the end of the wet tunnel. Remember the wet tunnel? The end of it actually was here. Then in that case, there was lots of water. Think about 3 times a year, every Jew must be in the city. Before he enters to the temple, he must go to a mikveh. A mikveh is a Jewish ritual bath. Remember, we talked about it. Then in that matter, it's a problem. In one day, there can be more than 100,000 people. A mikveh is like a bath. How many people can be in bath? Then King Herod, what he did, he turned that place into a mikveh. Then altogether, let's say 2,000 people could go in together to purify themselves. And then later on, I will show you how they actually walked up to the city. Then we're going to see a street from the time of King Herod. Now, it's a little bit disappointing because, let's face it, it's not a big pool. True, isn't it? What you can see is only a small part of it. Because if you will look at the garden, if you will excavate it, we will find the rest of the pool. The only problem is that the garden belongs to the Greek Orthodox Church. And the Greek Orthodox Church want to find the place that Jesus actually visited. But the disciples of the Greek Orthodox Church here are Palestinians. Then they don't know what to do. But what you can see here, that the garden is not as green as it used to be. There's so many kind of trees here, pomegranate trees, olive trees, fig trees, but I think they are letting them die, and soon they might excavate the rest of it, and then we can actually see it. Now, if we're talking about a mikveh, and we're talking about the spring, it all depends on how wet the season was. And the level of the water used to be different. Then look at the stairs. Can you see the stairs here? If the level of the water was low, then they used to go as low as they could. Let's say that the water reached here, and they used to purify themselves 3 times. Here I'm just taking a video of how it's supposed to look like. Here it is. Then in that case, if the level of the water was high, they used to stand there, exactly where you are sitting. Now let's move to story of Jesus. We're going to the book of John, chapter 9. It's mentioned only there. When Jesus visited that place, and he said, I am the light. And here, one of the Jews who've been here was a blind man. And then Jesus did something that my mother told me not to do. He actually spat. Took the dirt from there and put it on the eyes of that poor man. And guess what happened? He saw again. Then in that case, he was cured here in that place. And what Jesus did here, 3 times a year, every Jew must be here to be purified and then to climb all the way up to the temple. Do you want to rest, or are you ready to visit a street from the time of King Herod? Are we ready? All right, then. It's 2019, March. Short sleeves. This is winter. Amazing, amazing weather. Then let's continue. Jerusalem.